Escaping Denver, Batch 2, Episode 7, The Weapon.
Update.
No update. I need you to put some weight down on your other leg. I can't carry you.
But you're the strongest.
Not right now, I'm not.
Oh.
Please, Noah. Try and put some weight down on your right leg. There we go. Almost there. Just lie down. Stay down. I need to tighten the belt, okay? You're still losing too much blood.
Update. I've been shot.
Oh, we're not updating right now, Noah. We're stopping the bleeding. Shit, you're burning up. This doesn't make sense. You should be getting colder. Noah, stay with me. Do you feel hot?
Fire. Oh, it burns.
Where does it burn?
Leg.
Your skin is so pale and clammy. You've lost so much blood. I don't know how you haven't gone into shock.
Maybe Noah is the strong one.
Maybe you're right, but that's impossible. The bleeding has stopped.
Oh. Good. Update. The bleeding
Noah, save your energy. We're not updating right now.
My phone.
You're kidding me. You've been recording this whole thing.
Can you hear that? Incredible storm. Woke me right out of bed and now I can't get back to sleep, so here I am, drinking coffee at 3 a.m. So Noah's been shot, twice, and Sara got him into some sort of vehicle, but he's bleeding out. Or at least he was. Sara seems to have gotten the bleeding to stop, or it's his healing powers once again. Either way, he should not be heating up. I looked into it. Rapid blood loss comes with an increased heart rate, a lowering in blood pressure, and a cooling of the body. Nothing about a burning, which makes me think it's an infection or something. Could Palmer have used special bullets that cause infection? Probably. Hard to rule anything out once you've seen Bigfoot rip a man in half. A group like the Collective will have a roster full of Palmer types, former mercenaries looking to kill again. So what now? Can Noah and Sara really handle any more? They must be exhausted, hungry, and scared, and I can't imagine what's going through their minds right now. Well, Sara's mind. I'm sure Noah is somewhere between the worlds at the precipice of sleep, but Sara, she's still very much awake and having to make some tough decisions.
He's asleep. Not passed out from blood loss or in shock, but truly asleep. He's still incredibly warm, which I can't explain, but everything else seems to be going as good as it can be going, given the, it's weird. I haven't been given a world of time to process what we've been seeing, but what we've been living through, really, but it's a lot. Even now, my hands are still shaking. We're safe for the moment. I moved the truck. We're at the outside edge of the cavern, and I've tucked us into a bit of a fissure near the rock wall. They'd have to directly hit us with their headlights to see us, because it's truly pitch black around us. I'd get out and look around a bit, but after I saw what those bugs did to the soldiers, I'm gonna give it a pass. Shh. I assumed the whole time that this cavern was man-made. And why wouldn't I? It's filled with the hundreds of biodomes. There are lights hanging down over most of the space, plus that ramp I drove up was clearly purpose-built. But now, I don't know. The walls of the cavern are pretty smooth, but still very much, for, want of a better word, wild stone walls. I think they... I really can't see that far, but it looks like carvings or something in the walls. A pattern, maybe. It starts like 10 feet up, but I can't make it out. I'd shine a light up there to get a better look, but that's the kind of move that'll get us killed. So no. I'll have to settle for ignorance in the dark.
Can you hear it? There. I woke up in the dark, no idea where I am, and the first thing I see is a centipede the size of a zucchini stroll across the outside of the windshield. And now that I can hear it, I can't unhear it. Could you sleep through this? She can. No idea what she had to go through to get me here, but must have wiped her out. I'm having a hard time placing what really happened and what might have been a nightmare. I was shot. Twice. That's real. I have the bloody wounds to prove it. In my head it was much worse because I seemed to be healing pretty quickly. I might be infected, though. Yeah, it's pretty angry looking and burns like a son of a bitch. We're in Palmer's SUV. I can tell by the overkill tinting. There's a huge metal case in the back, which I'm assuming is the weapon. I don't even like driving with a propane tank in the car, and something about a super secret weapon screams.
What's happening?
Nothing. Go back to sleep.
Okay, yeah, I'll just...
Either it's only been a couple hours since I was shot, or it's been like 14. You lose track of time when you're unconscious. I think one of us should be staying awake to keep watch, but honestly, I don't think there's much we could do right now, even if we were found. So, I'm gonna go back to sleep. When we wake up, I'm gonna get some answers on what happened since I was shot, and how we got away from Palmer.
We both don't need to record.
You want to record?
I'm already recording.
I didn't. You want to start again?
All right. Stranger. Update. It's been nearly 18 hours since Noah was shot.
I love that we're using the time of my being shot as a landmark.
It's been nearly 18 hours, but we haven't had a single sign of any new soldiers. No trucks, convoys, drones. But in fairness, I tucked us well out of the way and we both were asleep for most of it, so very well could have just missed them.
They seem to have missed us too.
Thankfully. But we've had a sleep, we've eaten some cold food, even had a chance to use the facilities.
Yeah, the dark, bug-filled facilities in the fissure.
It's better than the bathrooms at a music festival.
Low bar.
Regardless, what I'm saying is we're as good as we can be. I mean, Noah's leg is still looking pretty infected, but the wound has already healed over.
It's pretty gross. And impressive.
Yeah, I'm not going to question the weird stuff that goes in our favor.
Well, we've had our fair share of those.
Yeah. Oh, and Noah didn't remember the whole tearing Palmer in two thing.
Oh, I remembered it all right, but my brain refused to allow me to believe that I just witnessed Bigfoot rip a man in half.
And not only that, but he spoke.
It's crazy.
Crazy is quickly becoming normal.
Or we're just getting better at this. Whatever this is.
Well, let's hope we can keep on this trend of surviving because we're going to need it pretty soon. See, we have a vehicle, we have a weapon, we just don't have a plan.
Yeah. The truck feels less helpful given that we're in an underground cavern, but it is at least carrying the metal case that houses the weapon.
So true. The truck was designed to carry this box, or at least modified to. It's on rails like you'd find at the back of a hearse to slide it out, which is great because we couldn't move it between the two of us.
In my defense, I only have one hand, and, I was shot twice in the last 24 hours, but yes, the box is heavy and seemingly impossible to open.
Well, it can't be impossible, but we can't figure it out. We can't see any locks on it or even a trackpad to punch in a code.
No keyholes or exposed hinges. Is there a chance that the box itself is the weapon?
I don't know. And what about that pad thing at the top? We still don't know what that's for.
Yeah, that's especially weird. It's almost like a glue trap, but a little bigger, about the size of a piece of paper.
Not only sticky, but squishy too.
Yeah. I really don't know. The only thing I think of is humidity control or something for what's in the box.
So you're thinking this box is like a giant humidor?
Not exact, but I'm sure there are volatile chemicals and compounds that must be kept at a specific temperature or humidity, so it isn't much of a stretch that the goo square is for something along those lines.
It just feels like something out of a movie.
Exactly.
I wasn't saying it as a positive. I mean, movies aren't really a good metric for real life.
I don't know how clear I've been, but prior to waking up in Denver, most of my life experience has come from movies. I lived a pretty tame life, so movies are the escape.
Sure, but they're not necessarily practical.
I don't have some super secret military training, and as far as I'm aware, neither do you. But we've made it this far just doing what we've seen them do in movies. Reloading the guns, using their radios, climbing through vents. It's all movie shit, and that's great.
You're actually onto something. Hey, if this were a movie, how would we get into the box?
Well, it depends if the technology is futuristic or ancient. And even then, the answer is likely to feel like magic to us.
I don't know what you mean.
So, take the pyramids. We still debate how they were made because our minds can't wrap around what ancient technology they could have used. It's why people give credit to aliens, because if it's beyond our understanding, it must be of a higher power. Or something super modern. Can you imagine trying to explain tap debit cards to someone in the 1950s? Their brains would explode.
So now you're saying there's no point trying to open the box because we're not likely to come up with a solution?
Close. I'm saying that because we're so unlikely to come up with a solution, that we should start with solutions that feel like magic.
Like voice commands?
Exactly. Except we'll never come up with a password by guessing.
What about when a magician waves his hand over a thing and then something happens? Anything there?
Yeah, maybe. There are all sorts of locks that work through magnets, so if he had a ring or something, he could just use his... Wait. I think I have a guess as to what the goo square is.
Yeah?
It could be an advanced biometric reader.
What does that mean for us?
Well, it means that if we want into the box, we're going to need Palmer's hand.
So biometric meters already exist. I can't seem to find any that involve a goo square, but even our cell phones have biometric readers these days. I mean, it sounded super advanced when Noah said it, but it's actually a pretty reasonable and heavily used security system. My gut says that Noah's probably right about needing Palmer's hand. And I am happy that I'm not there because I don't think I could handle what that means. I mean, Noah, he had his hand taken from him, so I'm guessing chopping somebody else's off would be pretty triggering. And that's even if they can find the body. I mean, fresh kills don't last long in the jungle. It just feels like an unnecessary risk. I get wanting to see what's in the box, wanting to get your hands on the weapon that was going to get used on you, wanting to even the odds, but none of that matters if you die in the process of trying to get the weapon. I'd focus my energies on heading back upwards, whether it's the ramp, the vents, or even backwards to the autopsy theater. Just up, out, find the surface. They need to get back on task and realize that they don't need to physically beat the enemy in order to win. Getting out is the only thing that matters.
Benched. After a vigorous debate, we realized that I'd be a bit of a liability on this little mission. Given that I'm hobbling along and also have a pretty weak stomach when it comes to gore. Something has changed in Sara since I got her out of that room. A new outlook, maybe? I don't know, but she's been great. Looking after me, getting us to safety, and now heading back into danger to return with the hand of a monster. I called it the quest for Palmer's paw, but Sara said it wouldn't stick. I don't know why it's so important for us to get into the box, but I truly feel that this could tilt things in our favor. Give us the upper hand for once. Put them on their heels. We just have to figure out how to use it. some sort of gun would probably be self-explanatory, but we're dealing with the collective. It could be a bunch of floating glass orbs for all we know, and we'd still have to learn how to use them. If Palmer thought this weapon was necessary to catch Sara and myself, then we want it on our side. Shockingly enough, it's not my leg that's hurting me right now. It's my hand, or stump. It's on fire now, too. The kind of hot that makes you feel itchy under your skin. It's driving me nuts, and I'm worried the infection is spreading. Oh, good. More bugs.
I haven't found Palmer yet. The body's been moved. Well, the parts of him that we need have been moved, but I bet they're still in this dome. Some animals drag their prey up a tree and others bury it to eat later. And while the documentary I saw didn't cover lab-created creatures, I'm going to apply that same logic here anyway. And what I did find were a few other soldiers, all dead. But we didn't have anything to do with those two. No, someone or something else did. Broke both their necks and left them with the same shocked expression on their lifeless faces. I'm hoping this is Bigfoot just cleaning house, because I don't think I have time to gain the trust of another creature. I swear, I've covered this whole dome. Either I've missed it or it's been taken outside. Or worse, something ate it. I may be ready to go all amateur butcher for Palmer's hand, but that task gets a lot harder if it's sitting in something's stomach. There's a noise ahead. Oh, it's one of their SUVs. It's crashed into one of the domes. The dome still looks okay, but the front end of the car, that's accordion crushed. They would have had to hit that going pretty fast. There are no bodies. Still could be soldiers around here. God, I don't know why I didn't bring a gun. No, the knife is all I need. Who am I? Keys are in the ignition. Someone tried to leave. Oh, amazing. There was a handgun in the door. But I don't know how to check that it has bullets. Usually there's this clicky... Oh, shit.
What the hell was that?
Shit.
Again. It keeps happening, right? I think I'm recording and I talk before I realize I'm not. Right. As I was saying, this truck, it's like one of those sensory deprivation tanks. I'm sitting in silence, beyond the odd prehistoric bug to walk along the truck. Plus, I'm sitting in the dark. So, there's a chance that what I'm about to say was just in my head, but I think I can feel myself healing. The skin around the bullet holes, it feels stretched, and I couldn't help but poke at it with my finger, but as I sat there, I don't know, it was like my skin was slowly moving beneath my fingertips, stretching to cover the bullet holes. Maybe my healing is speeding up, or maybe this infection has something crawling under my skin. Either way, it's creeping me out, and I just want Sara to be back already. She's been gone for over 4 hours, and at some point, I'm going to have to decide to take action if she doesn't come back. I haven't even tried to put weight down on my... Shit. Someone's coming. Walking from the domes towards me. Well, that might be Sara, actually, but... Why is she just walking calmly? You think she's hurt? I have to help. Well, yeah, it can take my weight. Check back in a bit. We don't have to record right now.
We gotta get moving.
But you can take a moment. You're so covered in blood, it's impossible to tell what's fresh and what's not. We can take a hot minute.
I'm already recording. Stranger. I don't know how these messages are going to help you help us, but I do know that they, at the very least, tell our story. Well, here's some more. I left here in pursuit of Palmer's hand.
The quest for Palmer's paw.
It's not sticking. So I left in search of the hand and have returned with the hand. I'll save you the gory...
You came back with 3 hands. What? You did?
I couldn't find his hand. It wasn't where we left it, so I came across some more soldiers, and I just grabbed a couple more hands just in case.
But you found Palmer's in the end.
Yeah, something dragged it up a tree. Found it in a nest-type thing that was just filled with bones.
I'm sorry you had to go through with...
Look, it's just try to get the hands in the goo square and just open this thing already. We really have to get moving. I ran into some soldiers from back at the top of the ramp. Don't look at me like that. I didn't kill them. I didn't even let them see me. The extra hands were from soldiers that were already dead.
What were they doing?
Hiding.
To set a trap?
To save themselves. From what they were whispering about, they think Palmer has abandoned them. They're low on ammo, they're scared and alone. And they said, when they radioed for backup, they were told that if they couldn't find Palmer, they shouldn't bother coming back up. Now they're pretty much like us.
Wild. But why the rush to get going?
They said something about a deadline. That they didn't have long before they locked up the cavern for good. I mean, I'm thinking it's now or never if we want to head that way.
It won't be suspicious when the people they're hunting roll up to the gate?
Well, you said it yourself. The windows are insanely tinted. I mean, we just have to gamble that Palmer was the no-nonsense prick we thought he was and hope that nobody questions him.
Deal. Right, I'll climb back there and open it up. You start driving. I'd still keep the lights off.
Yeah, I know. It's what I did to get us here. I'm just going to creep along the outside edge until we clear the domes.
Solid. Can you toss me the hands? Ugh, gross. Let's start with Palmer's hand. Oh, it's working. Holy shit.
What? What is it?
More like, who is it?
What?
It's a guy. He's just laying there. I don't know if they're dead. Huh? Oh, his eyes are open. Hey, man.
Shit.
Sara, help.
Get off him! Get... Andre?
Huh? How do you know my name?
No, this doesn't make sense.
I thought you said Andre was dead.
He was. He is.
Then what the hell is he doing in the box?
Andreas is back. I don't know how, but he is back. Do you think he could be a healer too? Or maybe they fixed him. Hell, they could have made him the $1 million man. Either way, he's back and he is pissed. I guess I'd be in attack mode if you stuck me in a metal box too. Does this mean that Andreas is the weapon? Or are they still missing something? If he is the weapon, does that mean he's always been on the inside? That everything from before was an elaborate ruse, still, part of the experiment? Makes me question if we've ever even left the test. Well, that's my cue to leave. Crow's back. Thank you to Curious Cast for sticking with us. And if I missed anything, hit me up at escapingdenverpod@gmail.com and come back in a couple of weeks for another episode of Escaping Denver.